Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Mordian Glory battle report. Today we once more return to the blasted cityscape of the Warhammer 40k universe, and we are going to have the new Imperial Guard taking on the Dark Eldar. So without further ado, let's crack on with the battle report and we'll show you which armies are going to be facing off against each other today. So I will be running a pure infantry Imperial Guard army. That is right, Mordian is back in the house with his pure infantry shenanigans, and today I'm going to be running a lot of Death Corps of Krieg as well. We have seen many Acadian shock troop on this channel with the recent codex, but now it is time to take a look at some of those other troop datasheets, and the one we're going to be showing off today is going to be the Death Corps of Krieg. So today I'll be running 2 battalions. Both these battalions are going to have the same regiment traits. They are going to have heirloom weapons, which means all of my weapons are going to have an additional 4-inch range. And I'm also going to go for swift as the wind. As I am using a primarily infantry force, it is nice to have that extra little bit of movement to get me where I need to go. So now let's dive into the list. So I have got 12 units of Death Corps of Krieg infantry here. They are all what you see is what you get. There is a mixture of grenade launcher squads, flamer squads, and melter squads. But the overarching theme is that every single unit has got a sergeant with a las pistol and a chainsword, a voxcaster, 2 special weapons, and I have got a medic. You'll notice that one man in every squad has got a backpack on. That is to represent the medipack. What that means is that the first failed save of each turn for these squads, that damage for that attack is reduced to 1. So it's kind of good, you know, if Johnny hits me with like a Dark Lance, it means that that guy won't die, but it's the first failed one. I don't get to choose it. So if he, you know, peppers me up with a little bit of poison weapons first, I'll ignore one of the poison weapons, and then the big stuff's going to come in and just do the damage that it always does. So it's kind of cool that Krieg can be so durable. One of the other things about the Krieg is they always have an inbuilt mini transhuman. What that means is that you can never wound them on a 1 or a 2. So if you hit them with a battle cannon, you still can only wound them on a 3 or better. But if you hit them with, like, you know, a bolter or a knife, which would wound them on a 3 anyway, they're not getting any benefit from it. So it's kind of cool to see that they've got this sort of ability, and they are quite durable, but they are a bit pricey. In comparison to a regular squad, they are about 15 points more per unit, so you are paying for that durability boost. After the 12 squads of Krieg, I have got 6 elite choices here between the 2 battalions. I have got 3 units of Kazakin. I like to imagine these are a bit like the old Death Corps of Krieg Grenadiers, you know, storming the trenches forward and all that kind of good stuff.
That's a lot of imagining today because they're not Krieg.
Well, they have been trained in the ways of the Krieg. They are, you know, Krieg successors. There you go.
So they've been exposed to an ex-heretical army. So as usual, you are.
Of course. Maybe I am on the bad guy side of the Krieg Civil War. So again, all of these squads are WYSIWYG. So you'll see that there is 2 melter and 2 plasma in each squad. There's a hotshot sniper in each squad. I've also paid for, as you can see, that one of the sergeants had 5 points left over, so he has got a plasma pistol. The other 2 have just got hotshot las pistols in there, and they've obviously all got voxes and stuff like that. I've then also got the 3 units of scions. So I want to take the 3 units of scions because I didn't want to take an extra detachment and really start cutting into my CP, because that would mean that I wouldn't have much to show off cool stratagems. So instead of going for like all troop choices, I've gone for sort of six heavy infantry and 12 light infantry squads.
Yeah, but yeah, such variety from my side. Definitely makes a difference.
There's some, you know, in black armor. There's some in green armor. There's some in slightly different style of green armor. It's all good, great, baby.
Scholar, spend 3 weeks painting up Dark Lancewood and Cabalites to face the oncoming Imperial mech. Turn up to a battle butt. Face pure infantry.
You always got to keep them on their toes, boys. So each one of these squads is each one of these. It's just like the Tau Hammerhead situation all over again. It's
your old subscribers will know that.
Yeah, exactly. So each one of these squads is rocking a guy with a sergeant with a hotshot las pistol, a voxcaster, 2 plasma guns, and 2 hotshot volley guns. And then of course I have my Imperial Infantryman's uplifting primer. And then for the HQ choices, obviously I need 4 HQ choices to man these 2 battalions. I have got a Scion command squad, and that has got a flag, a medic, and it has got just a couple of regular Scions in there, and a commander with a Tempestus command rod. And then we've got 2 Castellans, and we've also got a Commissar. I had a few points of those, so I thought having the ability to have some Perfector's Orders would be nice. So I've got a Commissar and 2 Castellans. They're just bare bones. And then we have got something a little bit special for you guys today. We have gone for a pretty chunky command squad here.
I think it looks really cool. Like
with all the advisors.
Different bits and bobs. Yeah, I really like it. Like I've been toying with the idea of making a Court of the Archon just for
similar sort of vibes.
Yeah, I think it's really nice.
So the thing about this command squad, guys, is that I've nicknamed it the Dreadnought. It's like a Dreadnought, but it's got Naught Dead Dog in it. And basically, thanks to the fact that it's got Naught Dead Dog in it, and it's got like a medic in it, it's like a toughness 5 plus feel no pain command squad. I've got a relic. I've got the Death Mask of Alonius Pius in there, so it's got a 4 invulnerable save. It's just like a super chunky command squad that might be like really difficult to shift. So yeah, and just to go over that, speaking of relics,
can it be targeted or how does it work for the
it's got the character keyword, so you can't target it. It just moves up the battlefield, being like super durable.
How many wounds has it got in it? Because if it's got over 10 wounds, how does that work?
Yeah, well, you have the original squad has got like 5 wounds, and then you add the attaches on afterwards. So, well, actually, I don't even mind if you do target it, man. I think it's pretty tough.
One thing to shoot that
I think it is pretty tough. Yeah. And then we've also got so this guy is going to have the Death Mask of Alonius Pius. And my Warlord today will be this Castellan who is old Papa Creed, and he is going to have the Warlord trait. We're going to go for Grand Tactician, which allows him to farm CP on a 5+. So that is the 2,000 points of pure infantry guard, clocking in at just under 200 models. Let's see what they're facing off against today. Okay, so here we have 2,000 points of Drukari. So we've got Scholar in the battle bunker with us as well today. So Scholar, where would you like to start?
We can start with the HQs. I've got a Succubus. She's got a Glaive and the Triptych Whip, which is a relic. Gives a poison 2 up, 3 extra attacks. I think that puts on to like 11 attacks or something crazy because she's got the extra attack drug. And she's also got precision blows, which means any 6s to hit just instantly do 2 mortal wounds to you.
Very nice.
I've then got an Archon. He's just an Archon. The only upgrade he's got is a blast pistol. It's my first time running an Archon. So what he's doing at the moment is reducing the points from a Succubus that I don't need. And obviously, if any of my new Cabalites get out of transports, he's going to give them reroll 1s to hit, which is nice. I've then got my Warlord, which is my custom Drozar, and he's the Warlord. He's got his Warlord trait, which allows him to reroll all hits and wounds, which is really stonking. So that's the HQs there. And I've also spent another CP, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okie dokie.
Do you want to go into fast attack next?
Let's just keep it rolling, baby.
Okay, so I've got 2 squads of 2 Clawed Fiends with a Beastmaster. The Beastmaster has been given Artifacts of the Dark City, and I've given him the Animus Vitae. His combat drug is the +1 ballistic skill, so
more like to get the hit, so the Animus Vitae goes off.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, nice.
And then my main portion of the fast attack is 2 squads of 9 jet bikes. They've both got 3 blasters, and they've both got 3 grav talons, so they've got mortal wounds on the charge.
Nice.
Quite effective. Moving on, you can see I've got 2 flyers there. They're just Razor Wing jet fighters. The one with the white cannon, he has a splinter cannon. The other one doesn't. He's just got splinter rifle. Twin splinter rifle. That's just points. Moving on to the troops, this is where the main changes have happened because I used to run pure witches, obviously, but I have 3 raiders. This is a triple patrol list. By the way.
Yeah, raiding force, right?
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's not Real Space Raid. I think it might be called a raiding force. You're right. So I've got 2 squads of 5 witches. Each Sybarite has a blast pistol, and I've got a Razor Gauntlet witch in each of those, and they're in a raider that has a dark lance and nothing else.
Very nice.
And then I've got a squad of 10 Cabalite warriors. They've got 2 blasters and a dark lance, and they're in a raider with a dark lance and a splinter rack, so I can rapid fire from all ranges, which is nice.
Mm.
A little bit of that bolt discipline for splinter rifles. And then I've got another raider. This is 2 squads of 5, just with blasters, no Darklands. Just to give me a bit more versatility instead of in terms of hopping out, running onto objectives, this, that, and the other.
Very much so.
They are likewise in a similar raider. It's got the splinter racks and Darklands on it. And then 5 more Cabalite warriors, again, with a blaster. Oh, I think I put my blaster in the wrong squad, so I'll have to move that around. But
that's okay. I think there's a guy with a blaster in there, don't worry.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
yes,
he's got the green gun.
I just couldn't see him from the angle I'm stood. And the Venom is twin splinter rifle, splinter cannon. I didn't quite have the points
for the double splinter cannon.
The double splinter cannon. But yeah, essentially a bit more scoring potential, just with how Ninth has evolved. The Witches weren't really, they used to score like 90 points a game, but they were sort of struggling a little bit to keep that score up. So I'm hoping that with these changes, I can, do some work.
And what cults are you taking today? Traits.
So I've got Obsidian Rose for the single for the Cabalites,
okay.
And that gives everyone plus 6-inch range essentially on the weapons that they have, so there's nothing to sort of get confused over. And then it also gives them 1 reroll to wound per squad per shooting phase, which is nice. And of course I've put my flyers and my raiders in that
to benefit from it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then my witches are as usual Cursed Blade, which gives them +1 strength. All my witches have the combat drug of +1 attack, and my jet bikes have the +1 toughness combat drug to make them toughness 5. I believe that's everything.
Very nice. So beautiful army. Loving the very sort of sleek aesthetic we've got going on here. Those of you who have seen Johnny's army before knows how it works. It's fast, it's killy, and it tends to get in there and do work straight away from turn 1. So obviously we'll see how he's playing today. I think this might be the first time since the very, very beginning of 9th that you've actually played against the pure infantry guard. I think so.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So it's going to be a bit of a relearning session for me, relearning how to handle all those infantry, and it's going to be a bit of a relearning session for you for how to clear through that many infantry.
I'm actually, I've been facing the Imperial armor a lot, and it's pretty heavy to face.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. So I don't know if I'm having a false sense of positivity here. Maybe I'm just happy not to see 5 Lehman Russes.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling quite good. My witches have always been traditionally very good at killing infantry. Obviously I've got a lot of Cabalites in there now, but fingers crossed that poison will do its work.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is the 2 army lists. We'll now go to the field of battle after deployment, and when we're there, we will also go through the mission. So here we have the field of battle after deployment. The Guard have deployed into 2 large phalanxes, 2 fighting columns, and we are going to march into the centre of the board and take this field for the Emperor. Now, going through what is actually deployed here, I've deployed 60 Death Corps on this flank with the Commissar and the 1st Castellan, and then we've got the 3 units of Kazakin here as well. And then I've done the same over here. I've got 60 guys, and we've got the other Castellan in the middle of them, and then we have got the unit of Scions all back here as well. Scion Command Squad is here, just so you can see. I realised I had a wrong model in there before, so we've got the 2 rifle guys in there now. And then also the Command Squad of Doom, the Dreadnought, has gone slap bang here. Now, we checked the rules for Lookout Sir, and it seems to indicate that essentially it's based on the number of wounds of each character model in the unit, not the total. It says you can be hidden if a character model doesn't have more than 9 wounds. So that's kind of interesting.
That's getting abused and then FAQ.
It's getting used and abused in this battle report. Right, so that is the guard sort of situation. 2 fighting columns. And marching forward. As you can see, we've got the terrain here. So you can see, obviously, in each deployment zone, we've got 2 bits of line of sight blocking. We've got a couple of just true line of sight situations, a bit of light cover there. And then we've got some dense terrain going across the middle of the board. Thought we'd go for an extra piece of dense terrain. Normally we just have the 2 big line of sight blocking, but we thought, you know what, we'll add a bit more in just because it will, the guard is a pretty shooty army, and it should helpfully, balance that out slightly. And also slow me down, as I am quite a foot-based army as well, which, again, is pretty important to try and make the game a bit balanced. Of course, these two bits in the middle will be line of sight blocking, obscuring terrain. And then you can see over here, it has been mirrored in the Dark Eldar deployment zone. Speaking of the Dark Eldar deployment, we have got the sort of, I would call the standard template Dark Eldar deployment here. Got some bikes, raiders, and the Venom over here. Is that a Drozar's wagon today, or is it somewhere? Is he somewhere else? The Venom, Drozar's ride. Was it Drozar's whip? And then we've got a similar formation over here. A couple of raiders, and we've got the bikes.
Cabalites on one flank.
Yeah, of course. They don't like mixing. And then we've got the Beastmasters here, and then of course we have the two planes at the back here, which for once actually don't need to worry about getting picked out of the sky turn one because I have very little long range firepower. And in fact, they will be able to do diamond formation essentially and make sure that they don't fly off the board.
I keep repeating to myself, splinter weapons first.
Splinter weapons first.
Splinter weapons first. Splinter weapons first.
Yes, and if there is an opportunity for me to screw you over, that I will do just for the camera, so we can be like, oh look, that Dark Lance was a waste of time. Look at how mighty the Deathcore of Krieg sheet is, and then they all just get rinsed by splinters. But yeah, so that is the deployment. There was one little mistake I had in my list, guys. I wanted to spend another CP to give my Scion, Tempesta Scion commander a Warlord trait, and he is going to have Drill Commander, which means that his squads around him, the Scion squads, can rapid fire at maximum range. They don't have to get within half range. So that's quite nice.
I'm like, yeah, I've got a Splinter Axe, and you're like, oh, well, let me just have a quick look, and when you...
No, I generally meant to do it. That's why I've got the Scion commander. I'm paying an extra 25 points for that command squad over a regular one, just so I can take that Warlord trait, essentially. So there we go. But no, yeah, of course.
It's all the same to me. I'm gonna.
It's all guardsmen to you, man.
To the Dark City and do unspeakable things to you.
Unspeakable, demonetizing on YouTube things to you. So that is the deployment. We'll get some dice together and the world's smallest dice tray, and then we'll see who's going to get first turn. So that is deployment, but now let's take a look at the mission. So today we are going to be playing Secure Missing Artifacts. The way that works, there are 5 objectives, 1 in the middle and then 2 in each player's sort of half of the board. And you have to hold 1 for 4 points, hold 2 for 8 points, and hold more than your opponent for an additional 4 points. Now, at the beginning of the game, each player gets an opportunity to move the objectives around. And there is a sort of specific order in how you do that, but the way this always plays out is the one person moves their 2 close towards their deployment zone, and the other person moves the 2 nearest to them. It always ends up like that. So, and that's exactly what happened today. It's only the only time that doesn't happen is if you're playing against someone
who's not played the mission,
very inexperienced, and then it's kind of at that point it really is your sort of moral duty to go.
If you're going to a tournament. And this, what's it called again?
Secure Missing Artifacts.
Secure Missing Artifacts comes up. Just remember, move your opponents.
Move your objective towards you, because if you don't, your opponent is going to move them.
Or it's the other way around, but yeah.
Yeah, your opponent's going to try and screw you. So, but if you are new to this, if you know and you're playing someone who clearly doesn't know, tell them. Don't be a dickhead. It's pretty simple. We have Commissar Kylo touring the line today.
Inspecting the troops.
She's not happy about this Xenos scum on the table. And then in terms of the second part of the primary, I like to call the tertiary. Basically, if I am holding this objective, I get 3 extra points a turn. And if Johnny is holding this objective, he gets 3 extra points a turn. So it's very, very easy to essentially keep scoring.
No mortars.
I've no mortars.
I see.
I could have fitted mortars in if I'd gone Cade and Shock Troops, but I've used a lot of Cade and Shock Troops, and they're kind of boring to me now, so I want to try Krieg out.
Okay.
Simple as that.
They're not boring, but you've got a whole new codex.
Try all the rich tapestry.
Exactly. You want to try all the rich tapestry of life.
Okay, so that is the primary mission. And the last thing to go over is the secondaries for both sides. So the Guard have gone for Inflexible Command because that is a relatively easy 10 plus points thanks to the all my officers and Voxcasters and everything. And then we've also gone for Boots on the Ground, which is a point for each table quarter. I've got at least 1 infantry unit in, so hopefully I'll be able to get at least 10 points in that one as well. And for my last one, I've gone for something a little bit different. I have gone for Warp Ritual. Normally, I'd take something like Banners with this list, but I'm playing against Dark Eldar. They don't have any ways of denying psychic powers. I'm going to be marching into that middle of the board anyway, so it kind of makes sense for me to be able to warp ritual, and it means if worst comes to the worst and I have to not be pushing so aggressively into Johnny's table quarters, it means I can camp a couple of objectives and also still get a lot of warp ritual points with my Dreadnought command squad. So should work out. Now, Johnny has gone for, of course, no prisoners. He would be a fool, I say, a fool if he didn't take that one. That is so just the more infantry he kills, the more points he gets. He's going to be having a great time. He has gone for banners because he can get an easy sort of 10 points on that, just sitting on those two objectives there.
Sneak another couple in.
If he can get on the middle.
Center.
Yeah, exactly. And then he has also gone for Herd the Prey. Potentially a slightly risky one. He ummed and ahed on about this. But if he is able to successfully keep me out of these table quarters with his firepower and his speed, his combat ability, then it will mean that he should get an easy sort of 10 points on that.
I'll probably be less in your face, but using my agility to sort of as firefighting.
Yeah. So
I can take, clear you out as you come in, kind of thing, because you want to come in to score anyway, right? So.
Yes, exactly. So that is all the secondaries and everything. That is the mission. That is the armies. The only thing left to do now is see who's going to get that first turn. So we have the world's smallest dice tray. Big thank you to Jameson for sending this over to me, and we're now going to see who gets first turn. Would you like to see what you're rolling against, or would you like to roll first?
I don't mind. I just know that I want to go second.
You want to go second? All right. Well, I'll do my dice first. Okay. There's a.
Oh, right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle. Could go either way.
I mean, slightly, I guess.
Yeah. Hey!
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted.
Because you want to be able to get me after I've moved out, right? Yeah.
Come on, come march to your doom.
We will. We shall. So we are going to be back in about 4 days when I've completed this movement phase. We're going to blow the whistles, and the men of Krieg.
A million, trillion, zillion, gajillion.
Hours later. Yeah. So we'll be back after the guard command and movement phase. All right, end of guard movement and command phase. The whistles have gone off. We have advanced across the line. All infantry squads have pushed forward. Yes, they are exposed in the middle of the board. That could be a little bit of a problem, but in my command phase, I told every single one of them to take cover, which means they all count as having light cover, which is actually pretty good because it means they're all on a 4-up save now. Combine that with the other Krieg traits, and hopefully my squads will look deceptively durable. Also, all of the infantry back here have it as well, and the Kazakh in here as well. So we've got a lot of people rocking around with +1 to their save. Like I said, the command phase is pretty simple. Everyone got take cover. That was it. I haven't actually got any. We've already measured. I haven't actually got anything in the shooting phase, so we don't need to worry about that. But we do have a little bit of psychic. I want to try and get an extra command point because I only have 1 at the moment because I started with 0. I want to try and use astral divination to get an extra command point. Now I'm not in range of there to be able to do warp ritual. So that's why we're doing astral divination. I did think about maybe doing night shroud, but I'm pretty confident that the Dreadnought will be, lookout sir protected, and even if it's not, I'm pretty certain I'll be able to take the hit anyway. So let's see if we get it off. I need a 7 to get astral divination off. I don't. In fact, perils.
And I fucking knew.
Do I keep the perils?
You have 1 CP.
I have 1 CP. I need to check how many wounds he's got now, because I don't mind him taking. Oh no, he'll go into the warp and die. I'll have to actually use my CP, because if I don't,
the one thing they didn't want to happen.
Let me check the number of wounds, and then I might use my CP. So they've only got 1 wound now, so I'm going to have to use, in an attempt to gain a CP, I'm going to have to spend a CP. Now, it's not the end of the world of my Ashbat dies, so I can bring him back. But we'll see what happens. No, he just doesn't perils. He just doesn't perils, that's it. So he spent my command point.
I wish I had the pain helm, because then every time you cast within 30 inches, you take D3 mortal wounds, and I'd just be like, no secondary for you.
Yeah, but I just keep having to spend my CP to bring him back. That's what it would be. All right, so that is the guard turn. That's the guard turn. The Astropath had a little bit of a wobble, but we brought him back. He's not too bad.
He's sent into the darkness of the warp. We went somewhere he
He's a novice. He's like, I don't think I've actually used this model before. I always use like the weird vein Psyker
Onto
model.
the Black Fleet for you.
Yeah, you're a baddie. You're getting sucked into the Henry Hoover that is the Golden Throne. All right, so that is the guard turn 1. Pretty quick. We'll get some points from Flexible Command, and that is it. So we'll be back with the Dark Elder command and movement phase. All right, here is the Dark Elder movement and command phase. Command phase is very simple. They gain CP. That was it. They don't have the rigid chain of command that the Emperor's Imperial Guard has. And then
Some things that are rigid.
oh yeah, so oh my. But then the classic Dark Elder movement phase came along. Lots of movement shenanigans. So the first unit of bikes that was here has zoomed over to here. They've taken advantage of their fly and the fact that they can get in the dense cover and have a great time. So they will be able to benefit from the dense cover in basically every single way, but not suffer from any of the penalties, which is very nice. And then we had some big moves and advances and stuff to get the sort of death ball in the middle going. Very nice. So that's Drozar's wagon. We've got the Clawed Fiends and the Witches in here, I believe.
Yeah.
Very good. It's just so you guys can easily tell, the Witches are in the slightly darker pattern Raider, so it's easy to know which squad's doing which.
Subtle indicator.
Subtle indicator.
And it was nice just from my perspective. I thought it'd be deep striking in with the Scion, so obviously my Clawed Fiends help with screening out from deep strike, but it's been nice just pulling forward.
Yeah, well, if anyone's wondering why I didn't deep strike the Scions, it's because I would rather take advantage of orders, because I can't come in, they won't do anything turn 1 anyway, so I'd rather take advantage of orders in turn 2 rather than deep striking and not get that advantage. And then the other units of bikes came over here. Johnny, we've already sort of measured it and pre-declared it. He will be doing some shooting, and he's going to fan fade behind this wall, but we'll get to that in the shooting phase in just a moment. We then had the unit of Cabalites here, and the units of Cabalites here, raising the banner and having a good time. And last, but certainly not least, the 2 flyers there initiated Operation Fly Around the Map in a diamond pattern and shoot the guards from whilst they do it.
I feel like I should have gone in that direction, but...
Well, it's just, I think it's mirrored, man.
I can actually see you're a squad of Karskin with both of them, so I might just start hammering Karskin.
Okay, that's fine.
In fact, so there's absolutely no, I'll move a fraction of an inch further because I only went the minimum.
That's okay, I don't mind it. It's all good. It's all good from my end.
May as well start getting rid of them.
Yeah, so that is the Dark Elder movement phase. That is Dark Elder command phase. Of course, that is the Dark Elder psychic phase as well. So we will get into the important Dark Elder shooting phase. So we'll do all the big bits on camera, and then we'll do the little bits off camera as is tradition. So we'll have a little cut there, and we'll be back in just a second. So starting off, Johnny is going to fire his bike squad into the very front squad here. They will have 6 splinter rifles and 3 blasters, and he is doing the splinter rifles first.
Got to do the splinter rifles first. Am I -1 to hit you?
You will not. Have you advanced?
No.
Well then, nope. I'm not in light cover, so I don't get the benefit of dense cover.
So you just +1 armor.
Just +1 armor, yeah.
Okay, and then of course 4s.
Yeah.
I might spend a CP. I'll do it with another squad. That's fine. There we go.
So take those out for me and give them to me.
So that's 4.
Okay. Now I will be on a one of them. Well, we'll see. We'll see how many I fail. So I fail 2. The first one gets ignored thanks to the medic, and the other one dies. So look at that. It's actually quite nice. So this chap here is going to bite it.
Wrong dice. Triple blaster. 3 hit.
Now you can only wound me on 1s and on 3s or better because of my
Vaporize on 3s.
Yeah,
Killing on 3s.
Vaporize on 3s.
Of course.
Hey, but that's actually pretty good. Obviously, 1 failed, and then the other one that would have killed me.
Them out of shooting range.
Yeah,
entirely, but it is what
that's
it
kind of
is.
cool though. Like there you go.
Out with the new guard infantry. Okay.
It's kind of a learning game for both of us. This is the first time I've run pure infantry in a long time, especially on camera and with this codex. So
Checking for a stratagem, so you might want to cut.
yeah, we'll cut there. Johnny's going to check a stratagem. We're back in just a second. So the next thing that's going to be shooting me is the squad that is inside this raid. It's a little 5-man squad. So it will be, thanks to Splinter Axe and to Johnny's, I call it regiment trait, but Dark Elder trait. He actually gets 8 shots from this thing, which is pretty cool. So he's hitting on 3s. And he's wounding on 4s. Thanks to poison. And I get 3 armor saves, just straight up. Nothing different about it. And I only failed 1 of them, which is pretty good.
And then a blaster.
Yeah, then the blaster.
Nope.
No rerolls, no, because they're
Oh,
inside.
I'm forgetting to reroll one failed wound.
Just you had 2
I get
squads,
on it,
right?
Yeah. Well,
that's-
that's my reroll and my wound. Failed
You can
wound.
do that for that squad if you want, and then you can have another one for the squad back there. No, there you go.
One extra save for you.
Nope, because you poisoned me on 4s, right? And there was the 3 and a 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right. Okay.
It's because you've got in your head, I can only wound him on 3s or better.
Exactly. Right. I think because I would like to get rid of this squad, and I'm probably going to divert shooting elsewhere.
Go all in on the next squad, or do you want to have a little think?
I'm going to spend potent metallotoxins. Not only boost my wounding to 3s, but I think.
Yeah.
So it'll be 14 shots. Hit on 3s, wounding 3s.
Yep. So that's another sort of example of there's a 2 in there, dude, just so you know. Just another example of the Krieg trait coming in. It actually weakens one of Johnny's stratagems as well, which is very nice.
Makes it not really worth it in CP, but it's situational, and I feel like this situation I need it. So of course I only get 1-3, but that's okay. Reroll one of my wounds.
Hey, there you go. So no AP on any of this?
No.
Okay, so 4 ups for me. I've done pretty well there. They beat them tough on Krieg, so 2 more blokes are going to go
I
down.
feel like you could try and fail a few more round saves here.
I'll do my best. Technically, these are cover
saves.
saves.
I think
No, they are,
the
so.
blasters are in range of this front squad.
Yep.
I was going to not shoot them because I was going to end up shooting them. I thought they'd be dead by now.
Yeah.
So there's 2 blasters and a Darkland, so I'll just do them at the same time.
Yep, they all hit.
Well, I guess it's just insta-kill anyway, so it doesn't matter about D3 plus 3 or whatever.
No, it doesn't matter. There's no movement penalty for the Darklands or anything, is there? Don't worry about it. We've done it anyway.
Not if I'm
3 are going to die, so I'm going to lose the medic because he's done his job at this point, and I'm not going to be bringing any back. I could bring some back. No, I'm not going to spend my 1 precious CP on it. And then do I lose these 2? Definitely going to lose these 2. The question is, do I then lose if I keep the medic, I could spend a CP to bring D3 models back, you see. So actually, we'll do that because some of them will probably run away anyway, so it's not worth worrying about.
Right, okay. So I think I will start having a think.
Okay, so Johnny decided to go with his planes first. Now he's going with this one over here so he can shoot from the tippy tip, and he can shoot and try and finish off this last little squad here and here. This obscuring terrain is almost in the way, but not quite. So he is able to draw some line of sights. So what are you going to shoot first?
Right, I've had a little bit of a think since we discussed it off camera, but it doesn't make much difference. So what he's going to do, he's going to shoot his splinter rifles, which is just within range of here. So that's only 2 shots. And then he's going to shoot everything else into the carskin over there.
Okay.
So 1 splinter hit.
Yep.
1 wound.
And 1 4 up.
I've had you from with the 4 ups, ridiculous.
No. I fucked the terrain up. That's my fault. There we go.
And then 2 dart lances into the carskin at the back. Miss. And then potent. It's necrotoxin.
So, yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. So that's 6, 7, 8 shots.
Okay, and is that going into this squad?
5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's going into the carskin at the back. So I realised I have the range, but it's 48-inch range.
Okay, that's fine.
Just reroll that. So that's those hitting.
Yes.
And then it's poison 2 up. So 3.
Yeah.
Nice, of course.
Poison, what was it?
It's poison 2 up.
No, they're not Deathcore Krieg, so that other one would have made it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Now, do you have any AP?
No.
So these will be 3 up saves because of take cover. So I shall lose 1.
Okay.
1 man shall bite it.
And then I can do the next flyer if you want.
So yeah, well, what we'll do is we've got an idea of like the flies and the bikes and stuff. We'll do the rest of the shooting off camera, and we'll see where we land after the dust has settled. So after the Dark Eldar fusillade had finished, the small 2-man squad here was killed, and then one of the infantry from this squad was killed. I have to say that the take cover made a big difference. If I hadn't had that across the line,
2 or 3 squads.
Yeah,
Just kept hitting 4s.
Just kept hitting 4s, man. And we were both commenting on it's so important to play games, because if you go off paper, people online say, "Oh, I don't think the Krieg medic's worth it." It's so nice. I'll pass 2 out of 3 saves. Or I'll just Past that last one with the
We've got
medic.
10 squads, which isn't out of the ordinary.
It's 10
Guys,
free wounds a
it's a free
turn.
squad. It's a free squad a turn.
Yeah. So
It's one less squad wipes, so it's actually adds up.
seeing
Obviously, they're not going to spread their fire like that unless they're, if they're doing that, you've won the game.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. But, it adds up.
It does add up. And then the Kazakin only lost 2 as well, because thanks to being on a 3-up save,
And
apart
me
from
not
start.
being able to roll anything but 1-2 wounds.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, Johnny was a little unfortunate on his
on the
dice.
dice, but it's also Tim's rules have added to it. It's one of those. I think the dice have been very slightly in Mordian's favour and very slightly against me, but then with the additional rules, that's made it
Exacerbated it.
Yeah. So I think the rules that you've taken, they put the medic and the
Mini transhuman.
and all that. It all just adds up to actually make
Tough.
Yeah, if all you need then to season it, you've got your nice little recipe, and then you just add that, no pun intended / kind of intended. You add a bit of salt by them just having a little bit of bad luck, and that'll cap, and you have a little bit of good luck, and it just magnifies it. I think that's my perspective.
What's interesting as well, and I 100% agree with that. And what's interesting as well, just to mention, you can buy Aegis defense lines for 40 points now. And the reason I mention that is it's as far as I'm saying, it's a terrain feature now, not a fortification, which means you don't have to try and have it staying away from all the other bits of terrain. Now, bear in mind, guys, you could forward deploy that Aegis defense where I think fairly wherever you want on the map, because again, it's a terrain feature, and then you could pre-game move up to it, and suddenly you've got a really nice little forward fire base.
Castle, yeah.
Even if I'm wrong there, guys, and you have to put it in your deployment zone, can you imagine basically having an Aegis defense line essentially linking up several of these buildings? Johnny.
Also, you could have. This is diagonal deployment, and we actually both deployed quite far back.
Almost Ham and Anvily, yeah.
Yeah, so you could have had this right-hand flank of your army
further forward,
now behind the Aegis, and then you would have moved forward. On average, you went about 10 inches, so you'd be here.
I think that's really interesting. I definitely would consider dropping the Commissar for that, because the same points.
Next week.
During next week when I've got an Aegis defense line. So that's the first turn, guys. No casualties on the Dark Elder side. About 15 on the guard side, which is pretty remarkable.
It's 1.5 points to me.
Yeah, that's 1.5. Let's get into the guard turn 2 now. We'll go into the command and movement phase. Little first turn thoughts, but now we'll crack on with the game. So movement and command phase, the guard gain a command point, and we put take aim on pretty much every single squad. And then by moving forward, I didn't do any advances. I just did regular old moves. I want to try and get some firepower off this turn and try and do a little bit of damage to the Dark Elder. This list doesn't do a huge amount of damage output, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a little bit. The Dreadnought moved within 6 inches of the centre of the board there, so they can start doing Warp Ritual. And that is pretty much my movement and command phase. So we're going to get into the Psychic phase now. I'm going to go for Warp Ritual, which I do manage to get off just. So he's not the most confident Psyker, but he has managed to get Warp Ritual off once, which is very nice. Don't spend another CP to stop him from exploding his brains off. Because the thing is, if he gets sucked into the warp as a result of perils, everyone around him starts taking D3 mortal wounds. It's bonkers. So nice. You don't want that to happen. So that is my movement phase. That's my command phase. That's my psychic phase. Now let's go into the shooting phase.
That's how it works.
All right, so we're going to start off with this squad first because they are in rapid fire range, and then after that it really doesn't matter because everyone's going to be in rapid fire or just regular legs range. Now, Johnny has spent 4 command points, so all of your command points,
yes.
And he has given these guys an additional -1 to hit, which counters my take aim, so they will be overall -1 to hit, thanks to the dense and to, what is it, fast, I call it fast as fuck, but it's something else, isn't it? Lightning fast reflexes. I'm fast as fuck, boy. And then you've gone for Hyperstim Backlash as well, which counts your toughness 6 now.
Mm-hmm.
And you've gone for
Hunt from the Shadows.
We Hunt from the Shadows, which gives them an extra armor save. So so Johnny is countering my take aim, but it has cost him 4 CP over here.
Well, the counting the take aim's cost me 2.
Yeah.
And then the extra toughness
has cost you 2. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go for the 2. We'll go for 2 crap.
Maybe a little bit of a extravagant spend, but I feel like I'm just feeling it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a new list for me. It's a new list for you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't do it, they're almost certainly going to die. So
yeah.
So we'll go for 2 crack grenades first. Got 1 hit and 1 reroll thanks to the Castellan. Nope. And then we've got to wound on a 4 now. So it does wound. It will be AP -2.
So,
You're on whatever your base save is, yeah. Nope. It's D3 damage, so it might or might not kill one. It does get 1. So that is 1 bike dead. Hey, grenade launchers are good again, guys. And then we've got a bunch of las guns. So it will be a total of 7 las guns and a las pistol, which will be 15 shots. So we'll get those dice off camera. We'll be back in a second. Okay, so we will be hitting on 5s with the las guns. Of course, there is no Born Soldiers, aka Hammer of the Emperor, in this list today, but I have rolled alarmingly well. So that is those hits.
Winning on 6s.
They miss. And then these get to reroll because of the Castellan. Nope. And now I will be wounding on 6s because of I don't get extra strength. So extra strength would be nice, but I don't get it. None, but I do have a reroll in there. No. Oh. So there you go. So that seems about right, considering the grenade launcher sort of popped its way through. We'll do a couple of other squads on camera, and then we'll do the rest on camera because it is a lot of just little bits. So we've got a couple of flamers coming in here from one of the other squads for 8 hits. That is 8. Wounding on 5s with reroll 1s. So I've got 1, 2 wounds so far, and 2 rerolls. So I've got 3 wounds at -1, which means you will be on a 3-up save.
Yes,
okay.
That's how it's supposed to work.
There we go.
Oh, I was feeling tense after that first grenade launcher.
Yeah, man. And then we've got the las guns. So we'll just grab those now. I've got those dice close together. I'll roll 2 more in a second. There we go.
Not great.
So I've got 1, 2, 3 hits, and then I've got 3 rerolls. So I've got 5 hits in total, and then I need 6s to wound. Move those out of the way. 6s to wound. 2 wounds. No rerolls. 2 3-ups. 2 2-ups because you've got +2
no
to save.
AP?
Oh no, AP1, so 2 3-ups. Yeah.
That's why I did it.
Yeah, still passed it. There we go. So you get an idea. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll do the rest of the infantry squads off camera that are on this flank, and then we'll come back with the Kazakin because they got a good chance of doing some damage. Okay, so I got a little bit carried away and did most of my shooting off camera. It actually went surprisingly better than I was expecting, considering after all of the infantry squads had fired, I'd only killed like, 2, 3 bikes or something. It wasn't very much. The Kazakin then went in, and the difference between regular infantry and Kazakin is night and day. They just hit so hard. The sniper rifles plucked 2 guys out of the saddles just because of the high AP, and the flat damage 3 is just bonkers on those hotshot sniper rifles.
There's so many rules in that codex that need nerfing.
Yeah, well, you and a lot of other people agree. I think that there's a lot of armies that would tear through this. I think your Blood Angels would tear through it pretty quickly. I think what happens with Guard is that they're a bit like a gatekeeper, a bit like Knights, where it's like sometimes you're gonna have a matchup which is gonna absolutely smash you. And sometimes you're going to have a matchup which is going to feel very much in your favour.
We'll see anyway.
We'll see. It's plenty to go. Plenty of time to go. So by the time the Kazakin had finished, there was only 2 left, which is pretty big. You know, they killed like 6, 7 on their own. And then over here, the infantry squads fired first. And they were able to pluck one of the planes out of the sky. And then I said to John, like, oh, well, I know I was meant to do the Kazakin shooting on camera, but I'll do the Scion one. I'll just start off with one of the squads, and then we'll do the last one on camera. And this first Scion squad here, thanks to Drill Commander, thanks to Take Aim.
Thanks to my inability to pass a save.
Thanks to John's inability to pass save, and thanks to the Stormtrooper Doctrine ability getting me many extra hits.
That's ridiculous, that. Should be like
exploding 6s plus, it's great. A single squad of Scions literally plucked a plane out of the sky. It was pretty tasty to behold, not gonna lie. So that is why I ended up not doing as much on camera, because I thought I'd get these last 2 squads on camera. They're just
too damn good.
I'm just too fucking good. You should make a movie about me sometime.
How'd you get? People ask me, how'd you kill so many Drukari
children?
You lead them more.
Yeah, man, I love it. It's a pretty good display of firepower, considering I wasn't I wasn't expecting to do that much damage. It was a big display. But I tell you what, guys, a little bit of feedback for this, and then then I'll stop. The infantry didn't do a huge amount. It was the specialists that really carried the day.
Infantry are the conscripts.
Yeah, exactly. The Death Corps, the infantry of the conscripts. The fact that you can take...
The Death Corps are tough, man. They don't need to be killy as well, and have lots of them. Like, you can't have literally everything.
I can! I want my cake and eat it! So all we've got left to do now is morale. Now, Johnny needs to roll a 1. He has no CP left. So we'll see if he manages it. He's cooking that dice. It is a 2, so 1 is going to run. And then you need to roll a 3 or higher to make sure the last guy sticks around. Hey, the last guy does stick around. That's pretty good.
I just wanted 1.
Yeah. I think if you...
Off to hold an objective for the game.
Yeah, methinks, maybe.
It's your turn forwards.
Yeah, the Reaver drives back like, it's your turn. All right, so that is the guard turn 2. In terms of points scored that turn, I will get 2 for boots on the ground. I will get some warp ritual, and I will get some inflexible command. I'm still very much inflexible and commanding. That is my turn. It will now be the chance for the Dark Elder to strike, and I think we're going to find out how tough the Dreadnought really is. So we'll be back at the end of commander movement phase for the Drukari, turn 2. Here they come! They're breaking through the lines! The Dark Elder have done what Dark Elder do. They've held back turn 1. And like the famed Mongols, they have now done a feigned retreat. And they're now flying in to start smashing face. We've got witches. We've got bikes. We've got clawed fiends. We've got sharp sticks and knives. We've got everything. They're ready for a big turn.
I realised one error.
Do you want to say what it is?
Yeah, I'd rather have these guys not there, but on the edge there, because I'll probably charge them into your
okay, we'll do that off camera, but that's fine.
I'm punching it out.
Yeah, that's totally fine. That is the Dark Elder movement and command phase. They've got a CP to play with. Amazingly, considering the guards started with 0, we're up to 3 now. We just don't really have a lot to spend them on, but I think I'll probably be spending most of them this turn. So we are now going to go into the Dark Elder shooting phase. It's looking pretty good. I think that they've got some good angles. As sort of John said to me off camera, he's hoping to really mess up one half of my army and then see if he...
I don't like these bikes being so far forward.
Yes.
But I've got to get these Karskin trimmed down.
Yeah, you can't leave the specialists running around.
I've got to...
Do what you got to do.
Do what I've got to do, yeah.
There's
so many unknowns. It makes for an interesting and fun game, but like when you've played the same army
5 years
for years, and you've been wargaming for so long, you've been playing against infantry guard for decades and blah blah blah. It's a very chaotic time in the world of Scholar because all the guard are different. I'm using a different list. I just don't know exactly how things are going to play out. So for me, if you think I'm maybe making a couple of rash decisions, it's because I'm seeing what my limits of my army are. Does that make sense? I'm pushing to see
100%.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. And what I was going to say is better to make them now and not at an event. Mm-hmm. And always good to do it on a battle.
We're going back into our events this year. So we've had a couple of years. Or we've had
you've had a year off. I've been.
I played a lot of events the year before last. But I haven't played really many 40k events since March.
The last one you played was Teams, which was last Christmas.
Teams, yeah.
Last Christmas.
Just January it was.
Yeah.
So January.
But what I was saying is, better to make it on camera because then other people can learn from it as well. And both the guard players can learn what the army can take, and the Dark Elder players
takes 18 bikes. But dude out there who collects 18 bikes and
other man
and is
and watches this channel.
Subscribe to Mordianglorytv Glory just for the occasional back rep with the Drukari. This is for you.
This is for you, man. All right. So we'll get
below your name so I can give you a podcast.
Yeah. If you're other Dark Elder player in the universe that runs 18 jet bikes, let us know. All right, so we'll get some dice together.
He's probably like, I wanted 27.
Yeah, he's upset. Like, where are the other 9? The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Anyway,
let's
get some rolling going. Get some dice together. We're back with the shooting phase. All right, so Johnny's going to start off with these 2 raiders, and they're going to slam some dark light into the Dreadnought. Now,
I've the dudes inside separately. For now, I'm just
that's cool.
Seeing where I'm at. Okay, so
I've spent 1 CP for KD stands, which is my transhuman. There we go. Hitting on a 3, it's a hit. Winning on a 4, It's a wound. 4+ invulnerable save. I will use my CP now. I might as well. No, still failed.
What kind of dice I need to see.
So,
it's been such a long slog of bad luck.
What's your damage?
D3 plus 3, sir.
Okay, so off you go.
Come on now.
That is 5, which becomes 4. I get feel no pains. And I passed 3 of them, so he takes 1 wound. So it came back in the end. So 1 wound on Nork, so I'll keep a little tally.
That's alright. Next Darklands.
Little tally.
Fly through this. That's a hit.
Yeah.
Give me that 4, please. All I ask. It feels like I'm always on fire having to roll 5s and 6s. I get 1 reroll of a wound.
It was a 1. He does get the wound. Alright. 4+ invulnerable save.
Please fail.
And I make it. Death Mask of Alonius Pius.
Next one. We'll just keep going. We know what we're doing.
Okay, which one? This one from here?
Yeah, the Witcher's one.
Okay,
hits.
that is a hit.
Get through the hits. Oh, did you see that skill? Coming off the table.
It's a wound.
Keep it coming. Please.
I fail it. Damage.
I'll take it.
What's that? 4?
6. Oh, D5. 5.
5, so it becomes 4, so I get my feel no pains. And I pass 1 of them, so that means I take 3 more damage. So Nork has taken 4 wounds in total.
I've got splinter abs and stuff, but I'm just checking one thing, so just give me a second.
That's alright. So we will be back in just a moment. Okay, so we're back. What are you firing next?
So I'm going to do 2 squads in here.
Okay.
I'm going to fire they're going to fire their splinter rounds into the squad blocking the witches.
Okay.
Because these guys don't want to charge them. They want these guys to be vaporized, and then they want to charge the guys behind. Hopefully 2 squads. We'll see.
Okay.
And they both have a blaster which will go into Nork.
Okay. Okay. So what are you going to fire first?
So I'll fire a blaster.
Okay.
It's a hit.
That's a hit.
It's a wound.
I've not done very well, and I might need to get some new dice here. Okay, number of damage.
So this is just a flat D6. It's
2 becomes 1.
Do I spend this? No, I'm going to hold off.
1 damage, which he passes.
Okay, next.
Oh, that hurt, but I think I'm all right, sir.
8 shots.
Shots over here. Yeah. That's 2 fails.
Yes. Sorry, my brain just totally stopped doing maths for a second there.
It's understandable.
And then 4s.
Mine does that all the time. 4s. 2 wounds.
I hate poison. For a Dark Elder player.
Save. Make 1, fail 1, and that one passes because of the medic. So my medic rule has been done now.
Okay, next squad, I'll do the same. So
Nork first.
Yeah, why not? He's already had a shot at him. Hit.
It's a hit.
Wounds.
Wow, you've done very well on this transfusion, man.
Oh, I had an obsidian rose.
And I've passed with the death Mask of Alonius Pius.
8 shots, still got a reroll to wound. Still got a reroll to wound. Still got a reroll to wound. Just keeping that in mind.
Keep that in your head.
Florence, come on. Yes, I love poison.
Saves for me. I pass 1, so 4 guys will die from this squad. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
All
next
right.
boat on fire. It's a 10-man squad.
It's a 10-man squad.
2 blasters and a dark lance into Nork and his friends.
Okay, the blaster's still in range. What's the range of the
I have
blaster?
24 in trade because of obsidian
You'll
robes.
be more than in range then.
And then my splinter fire, which will be 14 shots, will be into the squad I'm previously shooting at.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, double blaster. Pow!
He's done very well. He's not failed to hit or wound yet.
Don't curse me. I will use obsidian rose. Yes.
Yes, okay. I will use Death Mask of Alonius Pius.
The dark ones first.
Failed 1. So blaster damage. What is the damage on the blaster?
What's Nork on?
He's got 3 wounds left.
I felt like I'd done more. I didn't do 4 and 1. 5 down to 1 and 2.
You've done 4 in total, then I've just been making feel no pain. So that becomes 1 wound.
I've got to CP it.
Okay.
I just feel like.
That's your 1 CP.
I know, but I just.
It's your 1
He's giving so much to
He
me.
is.
I've still got a dark lance, but. No, it's through. It's through.
It's through.
I'm going
It's
to do
through.
it. Well, I've
He's
got to
doing
dice
it.
through the invulns.
He's
and shit,
doing it.
So I'm going for it. I've literally swore to myself I'd never do this again, but here we are.
Here we are.
No! At least it didn't be a 1.
He does take it though.
Okay.
He does take it. So he's got 2 wounds left.
Right, Dark Lance. This is D3 plus 3. Probably should have saved the CP.
He's taken 5.
The pressure.
Oh, it's missed. There's nothing you can do about it.
Should've
Fuck off.
5, 6, 7.
So Splinters into the same squad that you were weakening before.
6, 7. It's not great, comrade.
They had tanks, machine guns, artillery, and what did I have?
The Arcan. If you
sacred
had,
duty
if
to
you had
resist.
open top transports, you'd be able to give your Castellan reroll to them when they're in the transport, no doubt. But
I can do all of that off camera. I don't need.
What did we know when we said the Drukari Codex was broken? And now
Yes.
that's where we are.
Yes, wait for them all to come out. How many in total?
I've used my reroll.
You have 6. I'll just use those dice. Okay, so we'll get this on
It's
camera.
fine, we're brothers. I know it freaks you out that we share dice.
3 live and 3 die.
That's what I need.
I'm gonna have to take these 3 because the morale doesn't matter, and I'd rather keep the coherency, and I'd rather keep the Vox and the medic for future turns.
Oakley. Right.
Okay.
Splinter cannon.
Where's it going?
Into knock.
Into knock. It's 2 hits. It's 2 wounds. Now he'll
AP
just
minus
be
1, 2 damage each.
okay. So AP minus 2 damage. I don't care about the AP. He's in cover, so it's just 4 up either way. Passes 1, fails 1, and he takes a wound. Okay, so he's now taken 6 wounds.
Finish him with some splinter. 3 hits, that's what we want to see. 2 wounds.
Okay.
I feel so conflicted about poison is what I should say.
Yeah.
Come on, fail this now.
He will die. Yeah, so Nork has fallen over. Now, Nork has taken a hell of a lot of damage there. We're just going to put him there for now because he might get to come back. We shall see. All right, so that is Nork has fallen over, but he might get medic back. We'll see. What else have you? So that's all the shooting there, right? That's all you're shooting.
No, I've got plenty more.
Oh, okay, carry on then.
You may as well pause because I'll have a look.
I'll tell you what, we'll do the rest off camera because we've had a pretty good display there. We'll see where the Dark Elder end up at the end of their shooting phase. Hold your horses, honey. We've got vouchers for the Pringles. Nork isn't actually dead. Now, the reason for that is that Johnny had declared off camera. He said, no matter what, make sure I use that CP in case I miss with the Animus Vitae.
I always start by throwing the Animus Vitae. Every single game we ever play. It's not even players intended. It's like...
It's like
it's
just
that's the way I do it.
It's like you know when you've got those scribes in Mr. Drive and they always pull the same lever and they don't even know why, but they always do it. That's the same thing
just when you're filming and like it's hard to just keep track and
exactly. So what ended up happening is we actually Johnny, when we stopped filming, he was like, "Oh, I'll throw the Animus Vitae," and he threw it and he missed, and he was like, "Shit!" And that's what reminded us we needed that CP. So he did use a CP. He got the reroll, so he has got the Animus Vitae off. But then we realised that, Nork actually would be alive on 1 wound, so we popped him back up. And then Johnny was like, well, I should still be able to get him, so we'll fire all the Dark Lancers and everything at him. And Nork finally did what Nork needed to do, and he actually tanked all of it. He tanked the blasters, he tanked the splinters, he just did a really, really good job. So Nork is actually still around on 1 wound. He is pretty upset at the moment, though. He is pretty in a lot of pain. Those Drows are some clawed fiends that are ready to... I think maybe finish him off. But what's crazy is the rest of the shoot, that actually was pretty much the majority of the Dark Elder shooting going into just the command squad. So really, really good display from the Dreadnought there. I did tell you guys it was tough. It didn't even have trans hit on it. That would have made a big difference as well. So it just goes to show how tough you can make that 1 command squad. Then the rest of John's shooting had a couple of witches units and other bits and bobs. And he actually fired it all into this double flamer squad here, and they actually passed their saves, and when they failed 1 save, they actually got to use the medic. So it just goes to show how durable this unit is. Between the always mini transhuman, the medic, it just makes them really, really strong. So overall, we've actually only lost a handful of guardsmen to the Dark Elder shooting, which is almost unheard of. But now we're going to go into the dreaded Dark Elder charge phase. Now I only have 1 CP left, and I'm pretty certain Cadia Stans is going to get popped again for a bit more transhuman. We'll see if that helps. Let's see what is left after the Dark Elder charge and assault phase.
Film it. I know what I'm doing.
Well, we'll tell you what. We'll have a little break and then we'll film it. All right, so we're going into Dark Elder charge phase. Johnny is going to charge this unit of bikes into the Kazakin squad here. Let's roll them dice.
I can't trust myself to actually make a 6-inch charge.
Yeah.
I've rolled so many 4s. You guys who watched the Death Company last game, Like,
Yeah.
like I've just got to play the average.
Those Death Company
but
totally
the average
fucked
for my
it.
roll isn't 7 to 8. It's 3 to 4.
Yeah.
1.
Hey, good job, man. Good job. Amazing. All right, because Johnny, you haven't got a CP, so you have to play the sure thing. So, do you know what the next charge is going to be?
These guys are doing 2 squads here. It's I think a 3-inch charge.
Nice.
Make it.
That's actually lucky you did that. I think you might have been just out if you'd gone for anything else.
And then these guys will go for. I think I'll do these 2 squads.
Okay.
I was going to go for the 2 10 manners, but
Because Helens might be a little tricky with that little 2-man blocking.
Exactly. Well, I was going to go 4-3 is what I mean, but I think I'll just go for these 2. Here, what have you got in that? Grenade launchers versus flamers. I'll go for these 2.
Those 2. Okay.
Make it.
Man, good job. I think you've I think Johnny's learning.
Try playing combat army with my luck.
Yeah, Johnny he's learning. Like how many battle bots now have you failed those 7-inch charges, man?
Or 6 or 5.
Or 6 or 5.
That's
a 4-inch charge, a 3-inch charge.
It's hard to make tactical decisions when you don't know.
Well, now you know the tactical decision. It's just charge what is ever directly in front of you.
But that's not the way the army should work. You should be nipping around.
Yeah, true. And then everything just going to pile into there?
No, I'm going to combine... Drozar's going into there, so I'll do that now. Fortunately, he's in auto range.
That's good. So
I've got 1 unit of Clawed Fiends in.
Yeah. So not roll
my Beastmaster.
Yeah.
And then I'll put the other unit of Clawed Fiends into this squad and this squad. They'll just sort of sit there.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Still not rolled above a 7.
You got 1-8, and everything else was a 6 or less. That's some impressive charge rolling there, Johnny.
That's painful.
Yeah. It shows willing, but not ability.
When you've actually got to factor in your own consistent bad luck. I'm on a real bad phase at the moment. It's got to have been 2 or 3 months.
It's going to come round for when you get to that first tournament, and it's just going to be unholy to watch, man.
I'm just using it on life right now.
Yeah.
Got weddings and stuff coming up.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so that's your charges. Is there any,
well,
those
these
little
guys
2?
have declared, they're going to go, and I think I'll try and type these units. And they actually have quite a lot of attacks between them.
So they should be able to snip the heads off a few guys as they fly past. Hey, it's an 8.
And I have flies, so the -2 doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hey, good job. Am I right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have that would have been a failed charge there. There we go.
Let's see what we can do.
There, the vehicles going into the final squad there. So this flank has been contacted. The flank has been contacted.
Oh, I really don't think it's enough. I really needed to. It's just.
So what we're going to do, if you're okay with this, is we'll
needed Nook to be dead for these guys to come over here. It's just we're going to have to see what we can do.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do, I'm going to pause there, but in the combat phase, I say we do Drozar. We do what goes into the command squad on camera, and we'll do the rest off camera.
We'll have to do your see if you fight last thing. So I have to roll 3d6 and beat your leadership.
I won't be interrupting anyway, so it's fine.
No, but you just fight very loud. Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because you charge me. But you can do it anyway.
I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Probably, yes.
Fight last.
Okay.
13.
Great. Okay, just to declare now, I will pop my last CP on Cadia Stands again on that command squad for transhuman physiology. Let's pause that there, and we'll be back in the fight phase. Okay, so Johnny is going to fight with the Beastmaster first, trying to chip that last wound off Nork Dead Dog.
So it's 3 attacks. He's hitting on 2s. He's wounding on 4s. It's AP -3.
I'm on my Invan. 3 hits. Now that would be. Is that because you've got the Animus Vitae?
Yes.
Very nice. Wounding on 4s.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
That's an additional AP, so that's -4.
It genuinely doesn't matter. Are they all? What's the damage on these?
1.
Okay, so 2 4-up saves. Passes 1, fails 1, and a 5 for no pain. No, so Nork has gone down. He's finally died.
Thank you, Beastmaster. Oh my gosh.
And there you go. So Nork has gone down.
Took the Animus Vitae, so you better have made that kill.
Yeah.
Bastard.
We'll take that little wound counter out so we don't
Sorry
get.
if all my swearing is demonetising this video as we speak, but
It's
the
okay.
droids are not making it this far into the
No, they're not.
Okay.
All right. What next?
So now that he's dead, now I don't know the command squad that much.
They're basically 1 wound models, but they've still got the 5 at feel no pain, and they've still got the transhuman.
Right, we'll go for beasts, clawed fiends. So none of them are wounded. So they're on 5 attacks each. They're Strength 5, AP -2, 2 damage.
Now, do they get the benefit of the Animus Vitae because they're beasts?
They get the. Oh, that's a
Should we double check?
I have to check this every single.
We'll be back in a moment. Okay, so this squad of Clawed Fiends going into the command squad, they do not benefit from the Animus Vitae. They do not have power from pain. So,
does it? They are rerolling 1s because of the Beastmaster.
Okay, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. There's at least 1 in there.
Yeah,
translated. So we'll take the hits out. Back in a second.
Oh,
so here we are with the wounds, and that is 1 failed wound. Wow, you're really
nice. I need that.
You're really,
really
nullifying my transhuman.
Really need it, like...
Okay, so I've got 1 basic veteran.
Thank you, dice gods.
1 basic veteran. He passes. 1 basic veteran. He fails. Damage.
2.
Okay, he needs to make 2 feel no pains. Makes 1. Makes the other. So there's 3. Is it 5 wounds? Was it? For 4.
6 in total.
I think you failed 1 of them.
It was 6 wounds. Trust me, it was 6.
We'll just double check. Okay, so it was. We've just double checked Magic Cinema, and it was 5 wounds. So I've passed 2, so I've got 3 left. Fail, and we've got the damage. So the first veteran has gone down. So we'll put him to one side for a second. We'll then take it on the. So we've got 1 left, and we'll take this on the banner guy, and he passes. Because of the Death Matter on his bias.
So -2.
Just on a 4-point vulnerable save, the whole unit. So that is the Claw Fiends and the Beastmaster. Who have we got left?
We've got Drozar.
Okay, so do you want to get his dice together and we'll be back in a second? Okay, so Drozar coming in with his first round of attacks. He will be hitting on 2s. That's everything. And then we'll get those wounds coming in now. This will be 4s.
And reroll those.
And he gets to reroll those because of being
Battle of the bullshit rules, sorry.
Yeah, so I get 4 saves. So I've got this on the banner guy. Banner guy passes. Banner guy passes. Banner guy fails. It was how much damage?
2.
2. So I've got 1 more save after this. He does die, and then it will go on the Voxcaster next, and he passes. So banner guy has gone down.
How many models are left in that unit?
Still
I'm
4.
not getting them, am I? I'm going, oh my god! Right, okay.
Just want to do it again? Because he fights technically...
Clawed Fiends next.
Over here?
Yeah.
Going into the...
No, they're going to all go into the...
I've taken the banner guy off, so you can't do it. And you're in base to base here because you contacted those squads. I don't even think you even declared them over here, man, to be honest.
That squad and that squad there, in between the 2.
I thought it was these 2, because that's why you've contacted these 2.
No.
It doesn't matter either way, because you're in contact here now, so it is what it is. The banner guy's come off.
I'll do Drozar then, but that's literally not what I wanted.
Okay. Reroll those hits. Okay, 1 dropped. Wounding on 4s.
I just need you to not pass 3 out of 4 of every 4-up save. That's what I need.
And reroll the 2. Okay, so 5 saves. Okay, so it's got to be Voxcaster guy who dies. Damage is 2. So we've got 4 left after that. Damage is 2. He passes both.
Yep.
Nope, medic is going to be the last one to go. So we've got the next invulnerable save, and the next invulnerable save, and the next invulnerable save, and the last invulnerable save, and he has passed! The Dreadnought! The Dreadnought is alive! You cannot stop the metal! Amazing! Look at the power of the Dreadnought, boys. Read it and weep, Drozar. All right.
You won't roll like him, so don't bother taking it. It's not that good.
All right, boys, so that was the fight into the command squad. It's pretty durable. We're now going to do the rest of the combat off camera because it's witches and Clawed Fiends and vehicles and stuff. We will see how many of the Death Court and the Kazakin are left alive after the Dance of Death from the witches. So after the dust had settled, this is where the combat phase ended. So the bikes were able to kill the Kazakin to a man, and the witches were able to butcher down many of the line infantry. And in return, I was able to skewer a witch with a bayonet, and that was it. I didn't do any damage to any of the other sort of little attacks that I had. Oh, I also was able to chop a wound off one of the bikes with the Castellan as well. So that is that. We've then
couldn't quite wrap and trap.
Yeah, you couldn't. We did try it, but
these guys, yeah, I'll do those in a minute.
We'll do those off camera. I'll see if I've got any morale first. So he needs to pass on a 1. Nope. So he is gone. They need to pass on a 1 because they lost 7. Yep. Nope. So one guy goes and the 2 stay. So I'm going to lose the sergeant. And then we'll have the squad in the middle here, which fails. And then the remaining 2 guys. One more is going to run away. So I'm going to take these 2. And that, I believe, is it. I think everyone else didn't take enough casualties for it to matter. Yeah, we're all gravy. So that is...
Well, your command squad turn out to take that shit.
I'll double check. I think they should be okay, but I'll double check because they've got quite a high leadership. But we'll just double check that. But yeah, that's pretty good. We'll do your little consolidates and stuff, and then we'll be back in just a moment. All right, so we did check it. The command squad does have to take a morale check, but I rolled a 2, so it's not a problem at all. So we will be back after the guard command and movement phase. So after the guard, movement and command phase, we gained a command point and we instantly spent it for battlefield surgery. And Nork and the Master Vox guy are back. So the 2 models that ended up dying is the banner and the other regular veteran, essentially. And then Johnny's just shaking his head. On 4 wounds, Johnny. On 4 wounds.
I only stopped off briefly in Rage City, and I'm now on the sleeper train to Zenville. I've accepted my fate.
You've passed the Rubicon Rage Maris, and you're now...
I'm like, what can you do?
What can you do? What can Xenos do against such reckless hate?
I'll always play for the win, and I'm going to give it my best shot, but...
It's tough.
It's hard to keep the spirits so high.
So the other half of my army has moved over here. The Scions, of course, getting double tap at any range thanks to that Warlord trait. I had a couple of infantry squads that weren't able to draw line of sight, I think, so they got move thanks to the Castellum, and so that's helped me get some boots on the ground points. And then, of course, I've got these boots on the ground points here as well. Everyone is still within 24-inch range of an officer with a Voxcaster, so we're all having a great time for flexible command. And I don't have a psychic phase this turn because I had to fall back, and you can't fall back and do psychic actions. So
that is something at least.
That is something at least, yeah. That means at best I'll get psychic warp ritual off 3 times. I can't get it off all the times. I can just get it 3 times. So I'll end up with some points, just not max points. I believe it might be 3 times, it might be 4 times. I don't know. I don't normally take psychic ones, and I wish I'd taken banners now. That's all I can say. Yeah. But you probably wish you'd taken assassinate. So swings and roundabouts.
Do I though?
Do I though? So what we've got now is the shooting phase. Basically we'll do, as tradition, we'll do some of it on camera, some of it off camera. What we'll do is we'll start with the Kazakin over here. Now they are going to fire. We're going to
do some things.
We'll do some things. So they are going to fire their. I'll tell you what, actually, I want to do the Kazakin second, if you don't mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Scions first. So the first Scion squad is going to put, basically...
The Scions can't hit, can they?
No, they can. They're absolutely fine because they've got a 24-inch range double tap now.
I thought you said you were moving, there was no point in moving them or something.
No, that was those 2 squads over there. There and there. The Scions are all... They can only see the witches and stuff here.
Okay, they're going to die.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the plasma into the bikes, and we're going to put the volley guns and the las guns from this first squad into this unit of witches here. My plan is to try and clear this out with the Scions, and then clear a lot of this stuff out with the Kazakin. All right, so we will start shooting. So the first unit of Scions firing their plasma into the bikes. So we've got a double tapping plasma gun guy.
I'm still CP to mouse one to hit.
Oh, okay. So that is actually... I've got take aim, so that means that I would have got a miss, but actually I'm okay.
I couldn't see the dice tray.
Yeah, that's fine. So first one and second one, that is an exploding 6, so that means that miss goes back in. And then we're wounding on 3s, rerolling the 1.
That's done.
And that is 4 saves on the bikes, 2 damage a pop. The hotshot las pistol will go in there as well. Probably should have done that one first.
What? Is it AP?
Do you mind if I just I want to do the hotshot las pistol first, man. 1 hit, no wounds. Carry on. You're only 6 up. The 2 damage each. It's plasma.
Oh,
3 bikes.
To get 1.
Yeah, 3 bikes have gone down there. So then we've got the hotshot volley guns. Now they get 4 shots each. And they are hitting on... These are going into here. So they are hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s because of take aim. There we go. No 6s so far, so no explodings. Oh, there you go. Very nice. Stormtroopers, baby! So we add those in. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s as guard does feel a little spicy. A little spicy.
You can suspend your disbelief so much, but that's really good.
Yeah, that's really good. So wounding on 3s, so I'm with reroll 1s.
Some might say 2 good.
Yeah, so those fail. Got a couple of rerolls in here. So those fail. So these are the wounds on the witches. These are your 6-ups. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. And I've got the rifles after this.
I don't think you'll need them.
Nope. So that's
the squad.
That is that squad there. Yep, that is that squad done. We'll then go for the second Scion squad, which is that one at the back there. And that one is going to do exactly the same thing. So we'll go for the 2 plasmas into the bikes. 2 hits. I know with -1, but I've got +1. 1 fail, but again, thanks to Stormtroopers, an exploding 6, so they all hit.
I feel like you can't really see the witches. You have to shoot the... Not that I'm encouraging you to shoot the bikes, but I feel like you...
If that's the case, then I'll do that middle squad instead.
Yeah, cool.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So
I'm just saying, like,
that's
I
fine.
just had a look.
So 2 wounds, and these are on, you know, your 6-up feel no pain, your 6-up invulns, whatever it is. So 1 bite goes down.
I can't complain about that.
And then we've got the volley guns. Volley guns into the unit of witches.
Come on.
Is that 7? That's 8 shots. Okay, reroll the 1. And so get 2 more hits in there, thanks to Stormtroopers. You know, people said sounds weren't very good, Johnny, when the Codex dropped. I think those people might have been wrong.
There's tiers of good excellence, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this many 6-up saves on your witches. This is just from the volley guns.
That was a drop? No, I don't think. Oh, flipping
He's just
out.
dropping. He's gone to shit. He's gone to shit. Needs weak. Arms are sweaty. Drukari on his sweater already. Witch cult confetti.
I literally like.
Now there's witches are dead.
The amount of new rules in this codex. It's like a rewrite of the entire.
It's
a full rewrite.
It's going from an 8 to a first.
Guardsmen are still toughness 3. In other news,
They hit on 2s, we roll
they
1s.
do everything else.
So the last squad is going to put everything into these bikes. Okay, so we're going to go for the. So there's the one. There is no 1 damage guy. He is 1. He died. So we'll go for the plasma first. Reroll the 1. And then the next one. That's 2 exploding 6s, Johnny. So that's 4 plasma shots equals 6 hits. It's pretty spicy. They all wound, apart from 1, which then proceeds to wound. Oh my god, this is so AIDS. I love it. I did my time, Johnny. 10 years of it in Azkaban. The bikes are dead, man. The bikes are dead.
That has not gone well.
That is not ideal. Not ideal, to say the least. So what we'll do is we'll do the rest of the shooting off camera. I just really want to give those science a full display. We'll do the rest of the shooting off camera, and we'll see what is left of the Drukari once the.
I am just not even. I'm gonna.
Lots of words.
I just, yeah.
Just, yeah.
I literally flipping egg.
Amazing. All right, guys. We'll be back at the end of the guard shooting phase and the end of the game. No, I'm joking. All right. So after everything else had shot, we managed to clear out most of the middle. The Beastmaster died to the couple of infantry squads. And 2 of the Clawed Fiends got melted as well. And then the Kazakin were able to kill the other 2 Clawed Fiends, and they were able to kill the Venom, and they were able to do 6 wounds to the Raider as well. I did think about coming over here because there's a lot of troops in there, but decided that they can be a turn 4 problem, essentially.
I would say I am pleasantly surprised with the amount of Drukari
still
I
alive.
thought it was going to be worse than that. That turn for me was a bit of a haze of just like rolling dice, but
yeah,
when it just settled, my fugue is receding.
Yeah,
and I've got some stuff. We've got some things.
Still got some things.
We've got 2 characters, 3 raiders. and about 25 infantry and a biker. That's exactly what I have.
That's exactly what you have. Nice. So in terms of points, I'm still good for inflexible command, so I'll get 3 points for that. I'll actually get 4 points of boots on the ground this turn because of the other squads that I've running around. And warp ritual, obviously, I'm not going to get anything that turn, and I'm also, of course, going to get my 3 points for the primary there. So not a bad turn 3 for me. And we'll be back in the Drukari command and movement phase. End of Drukari movement and command phase, turn 3. They gained a command point and they spent it straight away, but we'll get to that in a second. These 2 raiders came down here ready to start encircling the prey. They will be lighting the way for Drozar with a little bit of tracer splinter fire. We've then got a 5-man squad got out of here, and they are going to try and stop me from scoring lots of points as well, because there's actually a little 1-man Voxcaster squad in there, and the larger squad, which is getting me boots on the ground and some other bits as well. Coming over to this side of the board, the raider that was in there has zoomed all the way over to there. That is where the CP went.
Auto advance.
Auto advance. And then the 5 warriors that were holding the objective have jumped out trying to stop my little flanking maneuver, and if you look just through there, you can see that there is a succubus who jumped out of the raider and ready to die to this squad. So Johnny's hoping that between shooting and charging, he can deal with that squad with the Cabalites, that the succubus will be able to deal with this squad here, and then that Drozar and his pals will be able to clear out most of the Kazakin, the Commissar, the couple of infantrymen, and the Castellan over here. We shall see.
It's tough, but
we shall see. So
block of scions is a real fucking
block of scions, man. It's tasty. All right, so we will be back
out because I can't tangle them up or anything
because of the Perfector's orders.
Yeah,
Thank you, Command Rod. So we shall be back with the Drukari shooting phase.
All right.
So the 5-man squad that is still inside the transport is going to put the rifles over here, and the blasters going into the Kazakin, is it?
I'm gonna work on the side. Yeah, the Karaskin.
Okay, they're basically the same. So these are the rifles first.
It's alright.
Not bad, it's alright. Yeah.
And then a bit of poison.
A little bit of poison. Wounding on 4s.
Come on, lads.
3
That's
wounds.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't have any buffs or anything, so it's just 3 5-ups. Nope, those 2 are dead. So these 2 little chappies.
Just having tricksy little 2-man squads
is very good for me.
That,
Yeah. And the blaster, good sir, kind sir.
Blaster into the Karskin, as I call them.
That is a hit. That is a wound and a kill.
I need a reroll.
I'll go for this one chap here. All right, there we go.
Right, okay, so then I will do...
Do I have a little think?
I'll have a little think.
So then the Cabalites went first. A blaster and a rifle killed the lone Voxcaster man, and then another guy was killed by the remaining splinter rifles.
2
but
wounds,
I have had to use my medic.
Yeah, you've had to use a medic.
Yeah. Not bad.
It's interesting to have the Cabalites versus the new guardsmen to sort of put the infantry
battle.
Face them off against each other.
So that is that. So where are you going next, Johnny?
I think I will continue with Cabalites. Why don't we do it on camera? People can see how it's working.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll do a blaster, G guardsman. That's a hit. That's I'll use my 3 wound from Obsidian Rose.
And I will use my medic.
Yeah.
Yes, I got him finally.
I've remembered all curse my final, like having a good day. It had to.
One good day.
That's all I've got to say. Sentence ends and scream.
Yeah, there we go. Muffled screaming noises. All right.
It's okay. That's fine. It's all the same.
At least it shows it
off. Got
off,
rid
man.
of the poison guy.
Yeah.
Guardsman. 3 wounds.
3
it's
saves.
All right. Poisons,
2 guys
that's
died.
3 dead.
We'll
That's
take those
what I
off in a
want.
second. Yeah, we'll take those off in a second.
Would have liked a bit more, but that's okay. So I'm going to do a dark lance from his bum into where the
Scions or into the squad over there.
Yeah. The squad.
Okay.
It's a hit.
That's a hit.
And it is
It's a
a
wound. And, it's and I'll use my medic.
That's all I got. To shoot at them. That's fine.
That's fine. At least I can't use it against your succubus now.
Yeah, indeed. And then I've got some smatterings over here. So I think I will do a dark lance into The other Chaos Skin squad that I didn't already target.
Okay.
This is from the Raider.
Yes.
And that's a kill.
That is a kill. So this is the other squad. So we'll go for this bloke here.
And then I think I'll do another Dark Lance from this one into that squad again.
Yep.
That's a hit.
That's a fail.
Use my Obsidian.
Obsidian. And that was a kill.
Dead.
So we'll go for that guy there.
Then I will go for 2 blasters and a Dark Lance into the first squad.
Okay.
And
poison?
My poison will go into these.
Into these guys here to try and make the charge a bit more favourable.
Oh, can I split my fire on that? I can, can't I?
You will be going across dense.
Yes, that's true. So I'm gonna. Ooh, I will. Let me do a bit of maths. Give me a sec.
So Johnny's had a little think, and he will be splitting the fire into the 2 Kazakin squads. So the blaster and the Dark Lance going into this squad, and the splinter weapons going into this squad. So
I'll do it the other way around, but
okay, that's fine.
I want the Dark Lances and blasters into the
2 hits
into the bigger squad.
2 kills.
So 2 kills. Dark Lance. Oh, it's a hit. Sorry.
There's a hit.
And oh, it's all over the
Kill.
place, but
So
it is a
that's
kill.
3.
That's 3 dead.
3 dead from this squad, is it?
The bigger squad, yeah.
Okay, so we'll lose that guy. And then I think we don't want to lose that many on the objective. I'm actually going to lose the 2 plasma guys because I want to try and keep as much bodies on the objective as possible.
Okay. Oh, dropped a dice. So now poison into the squad.
Yeah.
I'm seriously considering upgrading these guys to true.
There's a cheeky 2 in there, by the way.
Yes. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's force of habit. Taking the ones out. That's alright.
3, 4 fails.
Nothing to write home about, but it's alright.
4 ups. Ooh.
Oh, that's what I want to see. 3 and 3. That's what I like.
So this guy's going to go. And then I think I'm going to take these 2 for coherency. Yeah, these 2 for coherency.
And the succubus over there is going to do a plasma grenade into the squad that she's not charging.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
4.
Yeah.
That's all hits.
Very nice.
Strength 4, so 3s.
Yeah.
AP -1, so 6s.
6s. No, so
Nice.
4 guys there. And all 3 more guys already died from there, so there's only like 3 guys left. I will take those off in a second. Is that all of your shooting?
Done. I believe so.
All right, I'll take the scouters off on the far flank, and we'll be back in just a moment. So we are into the Dark Eldar charge phase. They are going to charge the first raider into the far squad. I did remind Johnny, is he sure he wants to charge into the far unit? He has committed.
I want to make you two.
Also have no Overwatch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want Overwatch?
No.
Ooh.
Oh, is that enough?
I can fly. Just they're not there.
They are not there, that is true. But your base has to clear it. I don't think you make it, unfortunately.
Right, I'm going to do it again. Do you want to...
Just keep going. You go do it with the set different raiders. It's an even longer charge.
No.
It's not going to make it. Okay, I should have gone for the nearest squad.
It's alright. I'm going to charge these guys into here.
Go for it.
They're in.
Don't
get these bad ones out of the way, baby. Look at my stats. Look how close I am to everything I have to charge. I don't mess around here.
Yeah.
Okay, succubus.
Okay. She's in. If you'd got double one, then that would have been very exciting. Who's that?
That's those guys over there.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing all the short
That's the
ones
final
first.
cavalry. And then Drozar.
Do you want Overwatch?
No.
No, after all.
Alright,
Oh,
Drozar is
back,
angry.
baby.
He is
I'm gonna
angry.
attack from the back, I think. I might just literally for the flex.
For the
Go
big
all the way
flex.
round and hit them in the
All
back.
right, let's move those. Yeah, let's move those units in. Let him do that parkour. Do the parkour. And then we'll be back in the fight phase.
I really can do it as well. Look at that.
Nice.
All the way around.
Nice, very nice. All right, we will be back. Were you charging the one squad, was it?
Both. Of
Okay.
course.
You'll have to go in the front then. Sorry to be a dickhead, because
Why?
those 3 at the back are there.
I thought these were okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll go to here.
If there's no bones about it. Yeah, cool. All right, that is the charge
I might
phase.
be able to place him in a way.
Yeah, have a little think, but we'll be back
So
when we get
these-
into the attacking phase. All right, we are going into the combat phase, and Drozar is going to go first. We're going to do Drozar on camera, and then we'll do the rest of it off
We
camera.
could go this way. It was possible.
Yes, he went this way, and he was able to contact both. Okay, so you are getting the Drozar attacks. Is that correct?
Right, yes. I'll do 7 on one squad, 7 on the other squad.
Give me 1 second. It makes absolutely no difference. Because I'll still hold the objective with my 2 characters anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, so go for it. I'll save my CP.
Yes, exactly.
I was thinking about Cadia standards.
Yeah, I'm not taking the objective off you, but I'm just trying to...
I was thinking about trying to transhuman them, but I don't need it, so it's fine.
Sure?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. We're hitting. This is just the first squad.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Okay, reroll that.
Yeah. Does he wound on
7
2s?
wounds. Yes,
That's probably the
plus
squad
1 to
gone.
wound.
That's probably the squad gone. So you can
Nice.
fight again into the next unit.
Okay, next squad. So that's this one here.
Yeah.
There's 5 men in it, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little... He's the one named character you're actually like, I'll take that wall, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
But you have done it, I think, even without the rerolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Drozar has picked up the 2 Kazakin.
Oh,
everyone
great.
thinks Kazakin are better than Scions. Well, the Kazakin are dead and the Scions are still around, so you do the math. All right, we'll do the rest.
I was tempted because of the amount of movement that I had to try and double team the Scions with the Succubus, because the Succubus could get to about here when we measured it out.
Yeah.
She got a massive advance and charge. And Drozar obviously was here and could have popped through here. So we'd really debated it off camera. So it's interesting. What maybe I should have gone for those guys, but I knew you could pull out with those guys and still shoot.
Pull-out game is on form with the Scions.
My decision was swayed by the rule. So if that helps people make their decision.
There you go. All right, so we'll remove those casualties. We will do the rest of the combats, and we'll see how many guardsmen are left on this battlefield going into turn 4. So at the end of the Dark Elder turn 3 combat phase, the squad here was butchered down to 2 men. In return, they were able to stick a bayonet through the eye socket of one of these 1970s glam rock Cabalites, but unfortunately, the remaining 2 guys did run away. Now that's pretty big, because that Johnny got heard the prey point. She said, 1 guy to stay alive. And then over here, the Succubus came in, and she dropped 1 wound, but then thanks to the medic, it meant that I saved another guy, and they got a 1 on their morale. They're like, it's just a Succubus, piece of piss, not a problem. And then these guys are like, shit me, I thought Glamrock was dead, and they ran away. And then over here, Johnny was able to kill the 3 guardsmen that were left over there with his charge. All right, so that is the end of Dark Elder turn 3. Going into Guard turn 4, we actually hold 3 objectives now, because we've got these 2 characters, and then we've got all the infantry over here, and we've got that objective as well. Just got 1 little flamer guy towing onto the objective. So that will get us a nice big juicy 12 victory points. But we have taken quite a fair few casualties. Out of the 180 infantry that we started with, we're probably down to about 60, which is probably about right for this stage of the game. But hopefully we will be able to now clear up what sort of remains of the sort of this flank of the Dark Elder, and when that happens, we should be in a fairly nice position. But we will see how it goes at the end of the Guard next turn. All right, summary turn 4 for the Guard, and there's a lot of 4s in there, wasn't there? And
There's a lot of 4s in my save.
Oh god, yeah. Let's just start with the epic moment. It literally took 2 full squads of Scions and also a squad of infantry to kill Drozar. Johnny must have made 24 fort saves in a row. It was bonkers. Drozar was just dodge, duck, dip, diving, and dodge.
There's only so much you could do though.
There is only, literally the 1 Scion squad probably should have got him. That just to show how powerful the Scions are. But the fact it took 2 and an extra infantry squad was pretty impressive. But we did get him in the end. I always get my man. And then we had over here, we had the Scions and this unit of infantry, and there was also a unit that was there as well, shoot into the Succubus. Each infantry squad took a wound off her, and then the Scions again just finished her off. Volley guns just being very, very nice there, and also some plasma. And then I finally did it, guys. I finally got to fix bayonets and prosecute a good old-fashioned bayonet charge, and I absolutely skewered the 4 Cabalites that were hiding behind this wall, and that allowed... I literally just dived in there. I got all hits. I got 6 or 7 wounds, and Johnny was unfortunately on a 5-up save, and he just got absolutely pin-cushioned, skewered by the mighty bayonet. So that is the end of the guard turn 4. We're still doing well on Inflexible Command. We're actually getting 5 points, I think, something crazy with Boots on the Ground's turn because of the standard near the centre of the board, and of course we got Warp Ritual off as well. We've got that off twice now. And of course, we did spend one of our CP. We've got one left to do Battlefield Surgery again, and we brought back the banner. We brought back the D, with D3. Just got the one guy back that time. So it's just the regular veteran who has not come back yet. So that is my turn 4. Going into Johnny's turn 4. It's going to be a bit tricky for him because he's obviously got to try and herd me out of these table quarters.
I don't think I can hurt you.
And yes, and he's obviously, but you've probably maxed out. To be fair, no prisoners at this point, so you can focus on your other secondaries if at all possible. But yeah, that is the guard summary turn 4. We'll be back with the Dark Elder summary turn 4 in just a moment. All right, the Dark Elder trickery continued into their turn 4. The 2 raiders came over here and were able to kill the commander and the commissar. Not too bad at all. I did actually get quite a few saves on my commander, but Johnny got him in the end.
I rammed him.
He rammed him, poked him in the eye with those 2 big pincer things. And then over here, the Archon came in, diced up 5 sounds between shooting and combat. And then in return, they didn't do anything to him, but they did pass their morale. Over here, Johnny did a counter charge with his guys and was able to kill most of the squad, and a couple ran away. In return, we were able to bayonet one to death. I did choose to lose the metal guns just because I figured at this point combat is actually probably better for me than the shooting, and having the medic and all that kind of stuff is probably better for me. That is the end of the phase for end of the turn for the Dark Elder there. Johnny unfortunately didn't able to get me out of any quarters, which means he is struggling with Herd the Prey now. Going into turn 5, I think it's going to be a summary turn 5, guys. Looking at the points now, the Guard have got a comfortable lead, so we'll do the whole of turn 5, and then we'll see how the game ends in just a moment. So end of turn 5 and end of the game. We've done a big old summary turn, guys, because it was very, very quick.
But brutal to the last.
Yeah, absolutely. Both sides getting off some last minute charges to try and grab every point they can. So in my turn, I unloaded all of my scions pretty much into that lone Archon, and Johnny was just making those 2-up Shadowfield saves.
I love the Shadowfield. It's my first time with an Archon ever.
Yeah, it's so powerful. And then I finally managed to get a wound through, and then he just got absolutely shot to shit. But it did take the majority of my infantry and scions to do it. I did have a little bit of spare firepower left over, a little bit of just sprinkling of firepower, Johnny, and I was still managed to get 9 wounds through on a raider. Absolutely, just half a squad of scions, man, just insane. And then we went, and then the last thing says the Dreadnought came over here. I spent my last CP to restore the last guy into the squad, and then we just charged into that squad and absolutely just butchered it. I thought Nork needs to go in and smash some heads, and he just tore those Dark Elder limb from limb. And then
the Cabalites have been getting the jump on guardsman squads.
Yeah,
the whole game. Well, not the whole game. In the tail end of the game, it's been very interesting. The Cabalites have been going toe-to-toe with the guardsmen, and then Nork just came in and
was like, yeah. I think what's interesting is you don't really need your witches in this game. Your Cabalites were doing enough combat damage.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's very specific against anyone else.
The witches often give me a big jump. They can get rid of
quite a lot
of bodies.
Yeah,
I think having 10 is nice.
Yeah, 100%. And then in Johnny's last turn, he essentially obviously he hid there on the objective and hid there. Everything he needed
I packed that.
It's all right. He needed to hold that objective and that objective at the end of his turn, and then he held the objective over there with the one raider, and then the 15 remaining Cabalites and the raider came over here, and they actually did a really respectable amount of damage. They cleaned up the 5-man Scion squad with shooting, and then with a little bit of shooting and with some bayonets fixed, they actually went into the 10-man squad and was able to kill them before I could do any damage
Yeah,
back.
they're taking a couple of Dark Lances and
Yeah, exactly. But it was still pretty. Just goes to show, like, you think the Dark Eldar are on the back foot, and they still got plenty of bodies.
That pain keeps ramping up, so it keeps you in the fight as you lose stuff. Like, I'm on a 5-up invuln.
And the number of bodies you still had was actually really impressive.
Yeah.
Because they've just been sat in raids. I was like, right, out the boat, boys.
Out the boat. We're time to get out the back of the bus, boys. All right. So that is the end of turn 5 for both sides. Nice little bit of combat and shooting for both sides. Now let's go into the final score. So the final score of the game was actually really close. I was able to max out primary, and I was also able to max out my boots on the ground thanks to having a command squad near the centre of the board a lot of the game. Great for having that flag there. I then also was able to max Warp Ritual, but it maxes out at 12. I actually ended up dropping a point on Inflexible Command, which I very, very rarely do. But because I didn't have any tanks in this list, and because turn 1 I couldn't physically kill anything, that's where I got 3 points for every turn, apart from that first turn I didn't kill anything, so I didn't get a point. So I ended up on 96 points, which is just
a lot of
wow. I mean, we've always said infantry guard strength
Good job
is...
I charged that command squad and didn't...
Oh, the Dreadnought, absolutely amazing, man. Going in every list now. But infantry guards have always been good at scoring.
The fact you can bring back D3 models
on full wound
and have him in there
Yeah.
seems off to me. Like,
It seems awfully good. So yeah, infantry guard doing well. I mean, we didn't. If you actually look at it, in comparison to the damage output I've had with my hybrid guard list, there's actually still plenty of Dark Eldar rocking around. But we do just enough damage for what we need to do to get the job done, and the durability. Yeah, and the durability as well. The durability in this list is something else when it comes to infantry guard.
It was a lot. It was a slog to get through everything.
Yeah. Now the Dark Eldar actually did very, very respectably. In fact, the only area they really dropped any points was in Herd the Prey.
Yeah, that on hindsight, that was a mistake.
I
didn't want to take it. I don't like it since the nerf, but I was like, I had a plan.
I think it was a decent choice. I think if you take something like Assassinate, you would have got 1 more point, because obviously you would have technically got my Warlord. But then I could have spent a CP to deny that and field promoted someone. So it swings and roundabouts, I'd say. What I would say is that the final score of the Dark Eldar was 86, so only a 10-point difference. Both sides max primary, which is fairly common in this mission, not going to lie, with the way it works out. Johnny, of course, max no prisoners in the final turn, thanks to this sneaky little attack over here. And then he got 10 on banners, just 2 every turn and 2 at the game, just ticking up. Nice banners. I really thought I should have taken banners at the beginning of the game, but when I found out that you only need to get Warp Ritual off 3 times to max it, I realised that,
we were going to do that.
Yeah, Warp Rituals is strong. I thought you had to do it 4 times. If I'd been
both trying new stuff, though.
Yeah, both trying new stuff. Banners still would have been great for me as well, because I could have played a little bit more defensively and probably got a lot of points on it. All right, that is the end of the scoring. Let's just have a couple of minutes of final thoughts. So my final thoughts on this list is that pure infantry very much is back, guys. I found it relatively easy to score some secondaries.
Very oppressive to face.
It's this list with the Krieg. The 3 things that stood out to me was, firstly, the overall durability. I mean, the fact that I was able to just move out into the open and be like, yeah, I got to take cover. I got light cover. I'm good. I thought that was really strong. Combine that with the transhuman meant that several times Dark Lances and blasters didn't get the kill, and the fact that the medic
on my game for every it's easy to get rid of the medic wound with some Daka, but if you just and I was really on it, but then if you at a critical moment, if your opponent can get carried away on a competitive level, you'd be like, medic that last cannon or whatever.
I think if you think about this in sort of a tournament setting, you're under a lot of pressure. Your opponent is naturally going to try and get his big stuff out of the way quickly. And you're just going to go,
you
medic.
Sort of default to that a lot of the time. So then, you can tell yourself as much as you want, and then occasionally just roll that damn dice and it's out of your hands.
Yeah. So I found the medic really, really strong in this game. I then also would say the Scions were, I'd say for me, they were the men of the match. I know the Dreadnought's very cool. We'll get to that in a moment. But the ability for the Scions to walk around and do double tapping at max range is phenomenal. the amount of firepower they were putting out was insane. I mean, they killed, they would have killed both planes on their own at the beginning.
The Scions were the ones that made the game difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because they were just eating through shit.
Really quickly. I think having the Scions and the Kazakin allows you to get 60 more bodies in a list, and they're good bodies as well. And then the very last sort of final thought for me was the Dreadnought. My God, the Dreadnought, so much fun to use. I don't think Johnny felt it was fun to go into.
I mean, I think that it's easy enough to crack. I don't think it's like, broken kind of thing. As I've said, I think bringing D3 models back on full wounds is an oversight.
Yeah, definitely. I think the durability, though, with the Death Mask plus Transhuman plus the Fire Feel No Pain, that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's nothing you can't overcome. It's not, that's totally unfair. That's like, rule is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I accept the unit can be like that.
Yeah.
It's just the coming back with the D3. That's just a step too far.
How I would consider changing it is you either bring back D3 models or you can bring back one multi-wound model, but you shouldn't get
I'd just say both. You get D3 wounds worth of models. If you want to bring back 3 veterans, you can do. If you want to bring back 3 wounds on Naught, you can do.
Yeah. It's interesting because for me, it's the first time I've seen Drozar bounce off anything in about 3 years, which was really what hammered it home to me. I really enjoyed it. In terms of like its killing power, it doesn't kill anything. And in terms of its shooting capability, it doesn't shoot anything. It's just very, very tough. And you can just walk it into the middle of the board and be like, look, you've got to take me off that. You've got to deal with me because otherwise I'm scoring points.
Unless you get up close and score your psychic stuff and be in the centre of the board. And I think also, what was I going to say? It's
a bit of a bait, I found.
No, it wasn't that. It was that, it slipped my mind now. There was something that you didn't mention that's...
I've got the Transhuman, I've got Nork reducing damage, I've got Nork having to take the...
Oh, no, it's the buffs, the area of effect buffs.
Oh, you mean like the reroll ones to hit and the reroll ones to wound? Yeah, getting that and orders is pretty nice. I mean, having 30 Scions running around with hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s to hit, rerolling 1s to wound.
Yeah, that's what, that was... Yeah, and it's hard to take away.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you've got like a blooming Primarch's worth of wounds in that unit. With all the, you know what I mean?
It's the command squad. I've actually done a video review of this, and I've said even at their base level, they're surprisingly chunky. Because with the officer and the 4 guys, it's actually an 8-wound squad, and with the 5 at Feel No Pain. Nork has 7 wounds. You got 15 wounds, reduced damage by 1.
And then you add, what else did you have in there?
I had the Death Mask of Alonius Pius, which gives you the 4+ Invuln.
I meant in terms of men, didn't you have more men as well?
Oh, I had an Astropath. That's just 1 wound.
Vox guy.
That's all we're taking in.
Is that all taken in?
Yeah, that's what we're taking. So 16 wounds in that squad. 16 wounds. And so it's a chunky squad.
But you can't target it. Yeah.
Well, the one turn you could target it, you did. And it was just like, Darklance.
I was surprised I got the chance to contact them in close combat.
I kind of wanted
a big gap, but you wanted to see.
I wanted to see how much they could take, and they did not disappoint. I could have
finished them if I got my succubus out.
Potentially.
So I think they were killable, but I didn't commit as many forces as I should. There's just a couple of factors in there, but I've never faced them before. It's what it is.
It's cool though. I mean, the fact that I could give them trans hit as well.
I'm just happy. That'd
be nice.
86 points is nothing to be sniffed at. You win many a game with 86 points.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
I'm happy with my Cabalite additions.
Yeah, I think your Cabalites did really well. Any final thoughts, Johnny, in general, or do you think you've covered most of it?
Said it all.
Yeah, fair enough.
The infantry guard are good. The tanks are good. Good time to be a guardsman. Good 15 hours to be alive.
Yeah, exactly, man. The one last final thought I would say is that as a pure infantry army, this was actually surprisingly easy to pilot because it only had 180 line infantry. Towards the end of it,
accessible. If you've got 100 guardsmen already, you can aim for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think...
and if you've just bought the Blum and Cadia Stands box set, you're basically there.
Yeah, just 160 more guys to go. But yeah, I thought it was much more wieldy. It was a lot more infantry. It was a lot less infantry, but they were much more durable. And the firepower was very strong thanks to the Scions and the Kazakin. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's battle report. If you have, make sure you smash that like button. You want to make sure you never miss an episode, hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you've really enjoyed today's episode and you want to see more of these battle reports, then please consider becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter. Being a channel member or Patreon supporter, it gives you access to the Mording Glory Discord, which means you can actually, you've got the red phone to MG and you can suggest videos and all that kind of good stuff. This is one of the ones that was heavily requested by the Mording Glory Discord community. One other thing to mention is make sure you also subscribe to Johnny's channel, Scholar Progenium. He's had a little hiatus, but he is now back in force, and you're going to be seeing a lot. Yeah, it's going to be seeing a lot of preparation. So make sure you head over to Johnny's channel, Scholar Progenium. But that is all for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and of course, as always, I'll see you guys next time.